Genesis Associates, thank you for making this training a priority this morning. That shows us you're serious about building your CTFO business, and we like to see that. E.R. Wolf, CEO and founder of Elify, is our special guest presenter today. Let me tell you a little bit about E.R. before we dive into this training. He's an industry thought leader who's dedicated his entire life to helping others be more successful in business. With over 2 decades of experience building companies with a specialty in technology development and affiliate marketing, E.R. understands exactly how innovative tools and the right technology support business success. E.R. holds 2 master's degrees in entrepreneurship and in investment management from the University of Colorado. He's a husband and a father of 2, and he's passionate about the outdoors, healthy living, and helping others achieve their dreams. E.R., you and your partners, Guy and Emily, are recognized as being best in your space. That's why my partners and I, along with the top producers here at Team Genesis, chose to align ourselves with you. Your second-to-none platform has made a dramatic and positive impact on our team, and actually, we're beginning to make waves all across CTFO, and for good reason. You've given us a slick tool that helps us recruit, convert, connect, and grow our businesses efficiently and affordably. And today we'll let you make that point when you reveal what's new, what's free, and what's now for everybody on Team Genesis. I want to thank you for being with us this morning, E.R. And if you're ready, let's jump right in so we have time to cover everything. E.R., you're muted.
That would help if I unmuted, right? Thank you, Janet. Appreciate allowing me to come on and support and help Team Genesis and everybody be more successful with their CTFO business.
Well, we're excited to get into this training session today, and let's kind of mix it up a little bit, E.R., this morning and start at the end, and then we'll move to the beginning if we could. Before we talk about how to use your tool to grow our CTFO businesses, let's talk a little bit about how to use your tool to protect our businesses. Let's spend a few minutes educating our viewers on the risks associated with social media in particular and the overexposure it can bring to our valued team of associates, which is indeed our greatest asset. So your background is in developing solutions prior to leaders and teams in huge corporate cultures, right?
Correct.
So my idea is that what's good and proven successful for huge corporate environments, and even we do it in our responsible parenting, how important is it to protect our personal teams? And should we be taking that into greater consideration as we're growing our networks here?
Yeah, it's vitally important. And I think you need to understand this. Everybody on this call is now a business owner. You may not realize it yet, but you are a business owner, and you need to treat your business like a business so that it will pay you like a business. If you continue to treat it like a hobby or treat it willy-nilly, it's not going to produce for you what you want it to produce. And one of those things about treating it like a business is running it like a business. Mm-hmm. And so often, and more often than not really, we tend to see people cobbling together things or leveraging things that aren't intended for business, but have some functionality. The challenge with that is that it opens up the realm for all of this risk, specifically in social media. And one of these things that you need to realize, especially in this business, is when your business is predicated on building an organization, building a team. This is no different than a business building an organization or a team of employees. And you want to protect and keep your employees. You want to foster your employees. You want to grow your employees. And that represents the success of the business. It's no different over here. Now, think about what you're doing anytime you aggregate or bring all of your associates together in an open platform like social media. What you're doing is you're exposing that to the risk of an open environment that's, in many cases, open to everybody. And when that happens, there's a lot of exposure. And your number one asset in your business is your employees or your network in this case.
Right. It dumbfounds me, E.R., and I think it's just people being naive, because experienced networkers know that when a networker who's part of an organization makes a different decision, the people that they've run into and connected with, and I'm going to say most especially through social media forums, certainly in-person events, but in a far more expansive level on social media forums, that becomes their new contact list. Mm-hmm. And so I think naive, and we even train on it in network marketing. People train on going back into their previous organizations or going online, finding a producer and getting into who they know. So I really think that this is of such important consideration for all of us. And I can't tell people how to conduct themselves on social media, where to pour it on and where to pull back and protect. That's up for everyone to know. But I'm glad you're helping me make the point that experienced networkers know to lock down your asset. Just like when I was in corporate business working with a renowned title company, they did not have my contact information available online. Why? They didn't want every other title company to come after me and recruit me. It could happen, but they didn't want to make that path easy, right?
Well, and why open yourself up to exposure really is the big topic, especially in this age of the digital age. Right now, the world is flat. We have the ability to communicate with anybody around the globe in real time, and in fact, social media and the digital age has also opened up this mass communication channel. It's great for us, but it's also got its negative drawbacks. It opens up and leaves it susceptible to exposing your network, your organization, your contacts, your list to everybody else. And you need to be cognizant of that. Additionally, when we talk about running a business like a business, you really need to think about this. When you're talking about dealing and interacting with your business group, you're not going to throw them to a place, or I never recommend people take them to a place where there's lots of distraction. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what happens in social media. I've heard the stat something like we get exposed to almost 5,000 bits of marketing information every single day. And it's even more prevalent on social media. And when you're putting somebody in an environment where they're trying to focus on business, but there's so much distraction, the latest friend is posting, what they ate, and, the other friend is posting the latest cat video, it's pulling them in different directions. And all they need is the next shiny object to pull them away from what you're asking your team to focus on, which is the business at hand and being an entrepreneur and growing your business and being successful. So that's really why we always recommend that you try to partition that stuff out. And this is why organizations use tools to work with their team, to collaborate with their team, to drive duplication with their team. All of these things are critical elements to driving success, to driving recruitment, to increasing retention, and to driving replication within your organization. So this is why we focus on developing technology that supports that, so that we could drive increased success in this industry.
And also to create first-in advantages, right? Yeah.
Very, very much so.
Yeah, I think all of this is so important. And then I'll make one last final point, ER, if I could, and then we'll move on to something that's far more exciting.
Sure.
After there's been a breach to someone's social media forum, it's too late. We just already heard of a fox getting in a hen house. Just like as a parent, once someone has crossed that line and interacted and put your child at risk, it's too late. So I'm appreciative of you helping me make this not very fun point here, that once the breach has happened and people start pillaging through your organization because they have a new idea and they think that you and everyone else needs to adopt to what's now new and best for them, it's already too late. So thank you for sharing that with us today.
And I can't drive that point home enough, Janet. You're absolutely right. You have to think about it in a digital environment. The moment something is exposed, it's exposed. Think about right. Data breaches nowadays online. Even Facebook is susceptible to that type of stuff. The moment it's exposed, somebody gets in and gets that information. It's not like you can capture it back. It's done, So you really have to be cognizant on how you're leveraging technology in your business, how you're leveraging social in your business, and especially how you're leveraging areas that might be open or susceptible to that type of risk. It's just the nature of doing business in the digital age.
Right. It's a whole new age, yeah, for sure. And we're always learning here. And then we're going to be talking about Elify's solution to this, because I appreciate, ER, that you and your partners are so cognizant of this. You're always taking in information about how other companies and technologies are evolving and how you're adopting what will work and build your platform. And then you're protecting us from the scary part. So I'm so grateful to have you and your team aligning with us. Let's move past the defensive strategy that we've talked about, how to protect our greatest asset being our personal team. And let's get into something that's far more exciting and talk about the offensive or the offense side of our strategy. This morning, can you tell us about 1QR and tell us what it is, how we could use it here, and then how much it's going to cost our Team Genesis associates, please?
Yeah, absolutely. And this is something that's very exciting. One aspect of your business, and this is probably the most critical aspect, is how you get out and share information with other people. Okay. And you need to ask yourself, how am I doing this online? You know, a lot of you may be marketing online. You may be marketing through social. Maybe that's where you're generating your leads. You may be doing paid advertising, any combination of online marketing, or you're marketing offline, or you're doing a combination of both. You want to have the ability to share information. And this is one of those critical first steps. Everybody on this call who is signed up to CTFO is now in the position to share CTFO with everybody else. Okay. And we want to create a solution that allows you to share information out easily, readily, and in an interactive way through a ton of different channels, because we all communicate through different channels. So what we've created in 1QR, and we're going to be going through some of this information, doing a whole training on this today, but I'm just going to hold up my phone and show you what we've created here are a series of CTFO specific, and in addition, Team Genesis really specific content that can be shared out to people who may be interested in CTFO or the CTFO opportunity, and really create an engaging experience with those people. Not unlike you would traditionally do with like a flyer or a paper business card, but to the 10x level, you know? And that's really what it's about. It's about creating an engaging experience with the people you're trying to share information with, so that you're lowering the friction points for them to make an informed decision. And that informed decision is to, you know, hook their wagon to your wagon, join the business, become a customer, those types of things. So what we've done with 1QR is create a mobile marketing platform that allows you to create these cards and easily share these cards out to the individuals based on the channels that you're connected with that individual. So it could be.
Can I tell you my 3 favorite parts of this?
Yeah, please.
Because now I've had months to have fun with this thing. Number one, I always have it on me, because I always have my phone on me, right? It goes everywhere with me. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit addicted to looking at my phone, as are other people, which what makes what you do so important. And I'll share a quick story. A name here, a top name in CTFO, someone that everybody knows in Las Vegas, disclosed that when he was out on the strip during the night, spending some time out with his friends, he runs into an opportunity where someone asks for his business card. Now, this guy is someone who sets the example for the entire CTFO family, right? And he didn't have a business card on him. He had run out. And I said, but did you have your phone on you? And he said, I did. And I said, that would never happen to me and my Team Genesis associates. So that the fact that it's readily available and always with us, the fact that it makes such a good first impression, ER. I'm so fussy about not having paper cards with turned up corners, or things that have been outdated or lines through them. I want a sexy, slick, impressive business card. I love that. The fact that it evolves with me. If I decide to warm my hair up and go brunette for the fall, all I have to do is make that revision in my template, and everyone who's holding my card will get to see the new me or the new products that we're introducing. I love that the card evolves with us. And then the fourth aspect to all of this is what you're going to tell us when you tell me how much it's going to cost all of us. But I'm just going to tell you, out in the field, I have so much fun with this. And everybody that I share it with right there on the spot goes, oh my God, how can I do that or get one of those?
Very, very powerful tool. Again, guys, if you're out there sharing this type of stuff when you connect with people, a piece of paper, you have to realize the amount of friction that you're creating for the person you're sharing it with, And the statistics speak for themselves. We already all know, you guys are going to be sitting there nodding your head. You either have a stack of these on your desk,
right?
You have a lot of them in a garbage can. You maybe throw them away right after they're being received. And that's truly what's happening. You're not creating an experience. And then the moment you're asking them to do something like follow the website that's on your card or call your phone number, they're having to take steps. They literally have to enter that data in. Mm-hmm. And on here, it's literally, you're just clicking buttons. So I create that engaging experience, and then they just click through all the way through to, if I shared this and we're highlighting specific products, they could go through straight from that card on the moment of introduction to the shopping cart and make a purchase, all just by using their thumbs on their phone. I think the other thing that's important, and I think this is critically important, we are in the digital age, guys. I cannot express this enough. This was invented in the 15th century, okay? It's like marketing your business with a smoke signal, okay? This thing, like the performance here, we already know, almost 90% of business cards are thrown away right after they're received. So you might as well just take 90% of those cards that you have, if you have cards, and just chuck them. That's how they're performing for you. Here, what I love about this technology is it's measurable. When I share a card, I can tell if a card has been opened. Even on one QR, I will get a notification that a card has been opened. And the benefit here, Janet, you said, this is almost one of the most exciting parts. If you're on this call, we want to give you your first card on one QR completely free, guys.
Nice.
So if you join CTFO Business for free, okay, and you're going through these steps on how to get started, right, and you've started to sample the products, maybe you've already started to set up your auto ship. The next step, you want to get your card. You're essentially in business at no cost, okay? Then obviously, we've got some other features and functions. If you need multiple cards, there are some expenses with that, but we don't want cost to be a prohibitor for anybody in this business. So we're providing one card on one QR completely for free. And
that is so amazing, ER. And it's congruent with when we tell people, like we had President Steve Finger, not President of the United States, President of CTFO, Steve Finger, on our webinar 3 weeks ago. And he talked about the gentleman at the top, the three partners at the top, sitting down and saying, we want this to be for everybody. And he even recited an example of a woman who lost her husband, and she really didn't even have 2 nickels to rub together. If it cost her $1 to be here, she couldn't have done it. And she turned her entire circumstances around because it was a legitimate opportunity and it was free. You have a legitimate tool for us and it's free. I just love how you perfectly fit into our model and what we promote, ER.
And I think something else here, and this is important and very powerful for you and your CTFO business, okay? This is free for you, but this is also free for your team. And this is something that I think is critical for anybody in the direct sales and the network marketing industry. Is one of the biggest components is driving replication. Mm-hmm. And so if you're trying to get everybody to use a solution that is already pricing them out, okay, right, is already pricing them out, you know that if you're using that solution and you're trying to get everybody to do what you're doing, which is the synthesis of replication, you're already pricing them out. And we don't want price to be that objection. I think CTFO sees that the same way in allowing everybody to join the business for free. It's the exact same thing. So if you're sitting here going, how do I get my team to start driving the business? Again, here's a very easy step, and we'll talk about these 4 steps probably again, where you're enrolling in CTFO, okay? You're sampling your products and getting on auto ship, okay? You're getting your digital business card, even if you're just getting one, so that you can get out and start marketing and promoting, and you're just going through that whole process. And what we'll be spending a lot of the last half of this is literally going through and helping you guys set up your first card. So if you're watching this on your computers, you're going to want to take out your phones, or as Todd said, start taking notes. If you're watching this in replay, you're going to want to pause and rewind and keep going back and forth. But we want to make sure everybody is equipped to get out today and start sharing the CTFO message to their audience. And you're going to be blown away by the power that this tool is going to enable in your business. And you'll be pleasantly surprised when your phone starts sending you alerts that people are actually viewing the content that you're sharing out. And I think that's that big digital measurement piece that's so important.
ER, if I could speak to that, I did not recognize that the 1QR free card that you're giving my entire team and their team that they're growing, I didn't recognize that it also had that tracking feature to it. That's invaluable to my team. I want to just share with them. When I call someone and I leave a message and I miss them live, I say, I'll follow up with this message and text you my digital business card. Just touch the link I'm about to send you and you'll have my contact information and we'll reconnect at a time that works for you. And then ER, the next morning at 9 a.m. in the morning, it'll tell me, Kurt is viewing your card. And then I can text Kurt back, hey, Kurt, I missed you last night. Is now a better time for our follow-up call? I love it. I love it. It helps us know when as professionals to engage in a timely manner. It's so incredible.
And 1QR is going to provide you some of that tracking capability, but not all of the tracking capability. Right. And we'll talk about relationship management and we'll talk about team communication and collaboration as well a little bit later in today's training. But the key component that we're going to focus on now really is the mobile marketing aspect in your business. And I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but what's crazy in today's day and age, the average person spends 3.5 hours a day on this thing. Okay? Think about that. Your audience right now is glued to this. I don't know if we've all walked around in public lately, right? Everybody's on this. They're typing away. Even at dinner nowadays, you go to a restaurant, couples are having dates, but they're just next to each other on their phones. Guys, if you can get your message in front of your audience where their attention is already at, that's half the battle. If you're getting your message out to them and it's not even hitting them, it's wasted energy, it's wasted effort. And when you're measuring and know that it's performing, that's validation that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. And things like business cards, you don't know whether somebody went to your website, you don't know whether somebody clicked on it or opened it. Unless they called you or emailed you, you're sort of in a lost spot. And I think that's the power that this can create.
Yeah, so, this is amazing. ER, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
I want to drill down on the free 1QR card, because this is a new thing for so many people who are hearing about your unbelievable product for the very first time. But I want to also say that for those of us who have already downloaded our CTFO business card, ER and his partners and I had a call 2 days ago where they committed to me to hire an outside graphic designer to take our 1QR digital intro business card, the one that we'll have and that we'll share with everybody for free, and they're about to make it 10x better, giving us the most graphically striking, high-functioning single card any network marketer has. So being that I'm competitive and I always like to have the best ER, I'm so grateful for that commitment. I already love the card. It already makes a great impression and I'm very proud to share it with people. But for your commitment to make sure that our team is completely wowed by it and all the people that we share it with, I am so grateful for you making that investment in us.
Well, and we're excited about it, right? It's about continuing to iterate and evolve stuff. And you mentioned it earlier, Janet, as one of your top 3-4 things that you love about the card is it's the ability to update it. If we told everybody on the call today, okay, we're going to give you something, you need to print it off, and then you print it off, and then we decide to update it, you've got to go out and reprint and go out and do all of that. Like you said, with 1QR and with Shuffle and with these digital promotions, with these cards, if we update a card or a template, universally it updates for everybody. So if we highlight a specific product, or if a new product comes out, the next day we could add that to a product highlight card, and it would already be available to everybody with the links, your links, back to the shopping cart for your customers to get that. That's how powerful technology can be in our business. That's what excites us every single day over here. And it excites us to show people how they can leverage this to really accelerate the growth of their business.
This is so amazing, ER. If we could move on and talk about the second card that we've committed to each other to create, to actually upgrade, and then I'll ask you to actually build this 1QR card. So I'll tell everyone who's listening to this live today, get your phones ready, because after we touch on what's next, we're gonna, ER is actually going to show you live on camera how to build your own digital business card. Before we get there though, let's talk about our upgraded Genesis Quick Start card if we could.
Absolutely. Let me actually just share my screen real quick. I'm going to show my desktop, but we'll have a phone up there, and we'll show what it looks like. But I want everybody to get a feel for what we're talking about when we say a digital business card, okay? So here, you guys should be seeing my desktop, and I've got a little phone up here, and we've got this general CTFO card, and we'll show you how to build this one. We'll show you how to, we'll show you some of the other cards as well. What I want to call out on here, right? Our products, on whether it's health. Again, this is an interactive, engaging experience. Is it anti-aging? Is it nutrition? Is it pets? You know, what is your interest? Are you wanting to shop now and that being your link? Are you wanting to go direct to these products? They're clickable. Are you wanting to get some more information? Are you wanting to join the business for free? All of those links are already on there. And as Janet, as you said, we'll continually work to update these cards so that they're maximizing the impact for you and your business. And the best thing in here is you're personalizing it for yourself with your information on there. And even if you've never built a website before, guys, even if you are completely afraid of technology, I'm going to show you how we're going to build this card in literally less than a minute. And once you understand the power of that, you don't need to be afraid of technology. You can spend an afternoon playing around with this tool and learn how to start getting exposure to your audience by leveraging it. So this is a general CTFO card. We'll be showing you that one. Okay, the next card I've got right here is actually, what do we have? Oh, it's our overall health card. Again, each of these could be highlighting separate individual products that are offered, and each one is going to link directly to that product page with your idea attached to it. So you're not even sending somebody to the main website, you're sending them to that sub page for the product that they're interested in. Very powerful. Shop now goes direct to yours. You know, learn the strengths that are right for you, embedded videos, testimonials, and again, personalization for you. So it highlights you. It puts you in a better position. And, you know, we hear it all the time. You only get, you know, a first time to make one chance to make a first impression. You want to make the best impression possible. You know, imagine handing somebody a piece of paper or, you know, a brochure with all of this information listed on it, with a link to go watch the video, you know, with the URL for your store, and ask them to go out and take those actions to get there, and then measure that against really giving them an engaging site to interact with and to drive through. And it's going to hands down outperform that paper every day of the week.
To make your point here on this health card that your team created for us, it's called CTFO Health. It's minus our brand new products that were just introduced the last days of September.
Yep.
What do you do, and will your team update it with our new 10X Pure, our gummies, our vapes, our hair restoration system? So, and then how do you take an announcement like that of here's what's new and drive more viewership to people who are holding that card minus our new products? How do you resurrect their interest and get them to go back and look and engage?
Look, this is a good point, Janet, and one of the best features about OneQR that a lot of people don't even leverage. And I'm going to tell you this little secret here on how you can leverage it in your CTFO business to get better engagement even from your customers, okay? And the reason is because OneQR is completely free, there's actually a section in OneQR that's almost like a Rolodex. We call it the QR Dex. And they can save your card, the card that you've given them, in their own OneQR, the customer's OneQR. And if that card gets updated, you can push out an announcement to everybody who's received your card through the app that lets them know the card's been updated. And you can engage better with your customers. So let's say you have a monthly promotion. Every month when you go to update that card, you'll let the people know that you've shared it with previously that the card has been updated, and they'll get a little pop-up alert or notification that the card has been updated. Now, again, this only works if you've said, hey, you know, you're a preferred customer of mine. I want you to download my card, get this app, and download my card, save it. If you want to build your own card, they can build a free card as well. They don't even have to build a free CTFO card if they don't want to. But they can have your card with them, and if you're sending out those alerts, they'll get a little push notification, and that's going to drive them to come back and view your card. So again, another little component that if leveraged correctly with your customers can really create more engagement and ongoing engagement with them.
Yeah, this is great, ER. If we move forward to the new Genesis Quick Start card, can you pull, there it is.
Yep.
So for our associates on the line, this is a logo actually your team helped me create right out of the gate when we first started our business relationship here. And so you guys have committed to help us make some changes. So here's one of the announcements of what we want to share about what's new and great centric to Team Genesis, ladies and gentlemen. So here ER is scrolling through and he's showing you that people can join live webinars such as our training this morning, our Wednesday night webinars, and there you see our corporate call, defined time and call-in number. Klaus Urbanek's outstanding 90-day quick start training guide is posted in PDF and audio file, and he's given that information to you as a 25-year veteran who's built $3 million network marketing organizations. So that was a generous share on his part. But we are upgrading this new Genesis Quick Start card to include 4 bullet points at the top. And the 4 bullet points, so you're an associate, you have a 1 QR card, you've struck up an interest and someone says, well, now what do I do, Janet? And I say, well, I'm going to send you a Quick Start card that's going to take you step by step through the first things that you do here to get yourself positioned for success. So I'm going to swipe up on my card and share CTFO Genesis Quick Start card. And the 4 bullet points that will be added to the top, which is their path to start and succeed here, will be enroll for free, order your first product on auto ship, create your free 1 QR business card, and plug into the free trainings and resources. Free, free, free. So we're going to take people through those calls to action, and then we're going to include, continue to include Klaus's Quick Start Guide, and then the training and resources to be readily available. So I think it's graphically beautiful, and once we give people that clear path, it really minimizes my burden to say to someone, well, you have to do this, and then you do this, and that's time-consuming ER, and it's not very duplicatable.
Agreed. And look, the old saying is a confused mind always says no. Okay, like if you're a confused mind always says no. So anytime somebody on your team, okay, maybe you are dialed in, you've got your business running like a well-oiled machine, you know how to go out and share CTFO with people. You've already started using our cards and you've been playing with them like Janet for the last few weeks, few months, you know. A confused mind always says no. You want to equip your team with a quick, easy to follow, step-by-step instructions so you're taking the brain damage out of the process. And hopefully what you've seen as we've sort of moused through some of these latest cards is we can really synthesize and focus what we're sharing with the audience that we're sharing it with based on the interaction. So if I'm talking with somebody and the conversation goes to pets and how much they love their animals, I don't have to just send them all of the general information. I've got something I want to share specifically with you for your pets, you know, and you can drive that information or general information or health information or even the getting started information. And part of this long-term goal with Team Genesis here and CTFO is to continue to create little content elements, cards that you can continue to leverage. And one of the things that I know we'll talk a little bit about at the end is it's not just the ability to have one card, right? We want to give you the ability to equip yourself with a multitude of cards so that you always have the right card with you. And that's something that would be impossible to do if you were doing a paper card or a flyer. You'd have to literally carry around all of these stacks. You're going to have them all with you on your phone.
Right. You know, let's so the 1 QR card, we're all going to get this kick-in card, better than any card. Like, this is a competitive thing to me. Now I'm going to really ask you guys to deliver. We're all going to have that for free. If people want to add additionally in their deck this Genesis Quick Start card to make it possible for them seamlessly to share this and give people this new 4-step process, that will cost our Team Genesis associates what on a monthly basis?
Yep. So if it's just adding additional cards, and if you're just sticking with 1 QR, okay, each additional card, $1 a month, okay? Wow.
That's amazing. How many times can we share it, ER? How many times can we share our one QR card, which is free? And how many times can we share this quick start card and get our associate ramped up and going?
Yeah, this isn't like, you get 500 cards to share out for $9.99 or anything like that, like we know from some of those print purveyors online. This allows you to send your card out, your free card, an unlimited number of times. You could share it out this month 1,000,000 times. Go on social media, post it out there. Go on to your email list, post it out there. You don't have to be concerned about how many times you're sharing it out, or that you might get charged extra if you share it out a few more times, or that you might hit some share threshold. It's completely unlimited. Now, if you're going to be adding additional tools, and we'll talk about the shuffle stuff a little bit later, you can always upgrade into that. The baseline on that, at the top end, all of the bells and whistles, $19.99, but we're going to talk about a special offer we've got for CTFO on that as well a little bit later on.
Can I just say here, ER, that I was inspired by a new enrollee who came to us from another organization. And he's an esteemed leader. He was a little uncomfortable about making this move, but he knew our horse was a thoroughbred that would win the race. And so this man, the leader that he is, goes out with all this guts and all this leadership ability and figures out his path and does front of the room presentations. And what he showed me was the system that he pulled out of his head, not even clearly knowing what he's doing here, which is what you never see promoted here at CTFO. We've all been too busy to compartmentalize our pitch. And so our pitch moving forward, Team Genesis, if you choose to adopt this, is these 4 bullet points. Enroll for free. Set up your auto ship. Why? Because you get that 5% discount. It guarantees that you'll have a check coming to you each week, and it's how you're assured of developing residual income. So there's lots of reasons why, but it's a strong directive, and we want people to have a product experience. Why? We know where there's passion. That's where their passion comes from. Some people are money motivated. Most people don't want to go out and talk about this until inside of them they feel and know the effects of CBD, and then they're motivated to share it. So enroll for free, order your first product on AutoShip, create your free one QR card. Why? It sets somebody up in business. You can put somebody in business where they're out there. It would be like giving them 1,000 business cards and saying, here, I'm giving you 1,000 business cards with your name, phone number, email address, branded to CTFO, go for it. But it's 10x better than that. We're going to give them a free digital business card the very first hour they're in business with us. And then we're going to invite them to plug into these trainings and resources that we're committed to continue to make better and better for you. And those are free as well. So I just wanted to say that ER, that this coming up with this 4-point model to success was inspired by a brand new person who did it in front of me. And I thought, how stupid that I haven't consolidated and brought order to this so that people could duplicate this.
Well, I think that's it. That 4-step process that you're talking about really creates a circular, duplicatable pattern that allows you to get started quickly, start to see results, and drive your team to do the exact same thing. And that's what viral marketing is all about. And in the internet age and the digital age that we've been talking about, having the ability to broadcast out to large audiences through these digital cards can get that message in front of so many more people to start that circular pattern.
Yeah, and it really evens the playing field, ER, for people who aren't very articulate, who don't have a lot of networking experience, or they lack confidence. Rely on the card to actually do this for you, right?
Yep. Look, here are 2 things I recommend to everybody. Rely on the technology. It's got a message that's built in that's ready to be shared out, so you don't have to be worried, am I going to say the right thing? Am I going to do the right thing? And rely on your team. Look at this amazing team that Janet, Todd, Klaus have put together with Team Genesis, here to support you. And I think there's very much a lot of power in those 2 things. Get into activity and start sharing. Watch the results that happen. It's not more complicated than that, and it doesn't need to be. So I think what we want to do is, I know we're a little bit past the halfway point on today's hour-long block. We do want to go through a full training with everybody. If you've been following along and you haven't gotten your one QR, okay, and you're going to be following along on your phone, or if you're watching this in replay, you're going to want to pause here in a little bit and make sure you go through this process. I'm going to go ahead and pull up a sheet, okay? These are some links to Elify.com. That's our company for Janet, Todd, and Klaus, okay? If you haven't created your one QR account, you're going to want to go to the person's respective URL, okay? And you're going to want to go to Elify.com/Todd or /Klaus or /Janet here. I put the information up there. So go on ahead and take a look, or take an opportunity to pause and write these down if you don't already have your one QR or your shuffle. Okay, that's step one.
And then I'll say here, ER, if you know that your upline has the shuffle or one QR card, we invite you to use their invite code. That's kind of what we call these links that ER is sharing with us. So these are your leaders here who have adopted this system. So we're putting this out here for you. But if you know that your upline, your direct upline is using this, then go ahead and pay respect to them and use their invite code. So that's just good housekeeping. Sorry.
No, absolutely, Janet. And I think the important part of that as well is this also is what we use to help connect from the collaboration and team communication piece. So you're going to want to come in and make sure you're continuing to honor those lines of sponsorship to really help with the collaboration component we'll talk about in a little bit, okay?
Thank you.
Yep. From there, you're going to come to Elify's website. You can see I've just followed Janet's link right here, and you can come down. We're talking about one QR. So again, I'm just going to go through this process. I already have my one QR account set up, but you can hit Discover One QR. For those who have never done this before, I'm literally just going through the steps really quick because it is so simple to get started. Then you're going to click Claim Your One QR. That's all we're doing. It's opening up a new page and pulling us in, okay? And this is that sign-up form to create your account. This has 5 cards. I told you already it's $1 per every additional card. That's why it says $4. Again, if you want your free one QR, just mouse this down to 1 card. You'll see the total over here on your order summary is $0, and it will never charge you. Monthly subscription fee is also $0. So there is no obligation here. And just go through the process to continue with that account creation. Once
I'm sorry, can you tell our associates on the line why they have to put their credit card information in there, please?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So look, if you want additional cards, if you want to know who's viewing your cards, if you want to add in those additional features, all of those things, we set it up on the onset so that it's very easy for you to add those functions when you need them.
I liken it to when we download the Uber app. If you never call for an Uber driver to take you from point A to point B, your card is never drafted. But I think, Emily, your partner talked about it as being a credit vault. I think she called it. And it's a compliant issue with service providing companies, right?
Yep.
So I just want to make that clear that people don't go into a stall. This is an incredible company that's here to serve you, and you'll never be charged if you purchase, if you would call it that, to just that one QR card. Okay, thank you for letting me
completely free, one free card, and we're planning on keeping it free forever, Janet. So if somebody just has one card, they're never going to pay a dime. Okay. I truly believe if you're running your business like a business, and if you're following what Team Genesis is talking about, and we're creating these series of cards, you might want to consider spending the extra $1 or $2 on your business to accelerate it. Just, food for thought there as an investment in yourself and in your business. But otherwise, you can pick your favorite card. Any of these CTFO cards we're going through, you can use as your one free card. Okay? Once you've created your account, you will end up in your one QR account. So I'm in my one QR account. And when you land on that page, it'll look something like this. I'm online now. You can do this completely from your phone. Okay? One thing I want to call out, this is entirely cloud-based. I know we hear that buzz term, the cloud, all the time. That means you can access this from your computer, from your telephone's internet, and we even have native applications. So if you go to your favorite respective app store, you can download a one QR app from the app store and access all of your cards and everything direct from your phone. And that's really what we're talking about here, and what we'll be talking about as well when we go through share and build. But I want to cover it from the desktop, since we've been on the web for a second here, to make sure everybody's going through this process. And really what it boils down to, again, this is Dan Smith, an account I created earlier just for demonstration purposes. It has no cards, and it's a completely free account. I'm going to click on create a new card. Again, we try to make the steps as simple as possible, and you can see it pulls up and tells me to choose a template. Now, I already have the templates that we talked about just a second ago. In addition, there's a series of other templates, okay? So maybe it's a business card just with your picture and your contact information. Again, there's flexibility with this technology. But if you want to use one of these CTFO templates, all you need to do is go to the search custom templates. So when you log in, I'm just going to delete these. I'm hitting that little minus sign, CTFO templates that we've created, and show you. So when you go to create your card, it'll look just like this. You're going to click on template ID, okay? And you're going to type in CTFO is one of the templates, okay? So you can type in CTFO and hit search, and watch. It will just pull up that health template, the general CTFO template, okay? If we're talking about that quick start guide that Janet, you were talking about, that's so powerful, okay? That's going to be Genesis.
And then we'll see here, ER, that people who already have these cards,
yep,
you guys upgrade them. All of them holding this templated card will have the upgraded version automatically, correct?
Correct. So again,
Nice.
even if you set these up today, when we upgrade the templates in the future, there is no extra work on your behalf. It just automatically updates. Now, in the example Janet gave earlier where, you know, she decides to change her hair to brown for the fall, she's going to have to update her photo, obviously, upload that photo. But literally, it would just be going in and uploading a photo, and we'll talk about that in a second as well. So I found the template I wanted, okay? And again, here are the 4 templates we covered. CTFO, okay? It's not case sensitive, so you can type it in lowercase, uppercase, doesn't matter. CTFO health, all one word, okay? So I'll type that one in as well.
And then CTFO will be the basic card that people will want as their basic intro card. That's the one that you're going to 10X and put on steroids for us, right?
Correct. So that's this card right here. Mm-hmm. Again, if you're building a team and focused on building a team, you might want to consider spending the extra $1 a month and getting the quick start card so you can share it out to team members as well. But you're going to want to be prospecting with that primary 10X card, okay? Right. So we covered CTFO. CTFO health. If you guys saw earlier, I did the pet card. So this is CTFO pets. We'll type in CTFO.
Oh, there's such cute pictures and testimonials on this one, ER.
Yeah, I like this one. I thought it turned out really good. And again, it drives that. And we know how we all are. I have a dog. I love my dog. I spent more on my dog than it cost me to get my dog, you know, and I will continue to do so. So many people are passionate about their pets. Again, if the conversation turns to that, you've got something in place that you can send directly to that person that's going to pique to that interest. And I think that's the power about having all of these different cards and continuing to create all these different cards, okay? So once you've entered those up, CTFO, CTFO health, CTFO pets, or Genesis quick start, all one word on all of those, you're going to have these templates show up. Okay, we'll select this template here to use, okay? And once we've done that, we can start creating our cards. Now, I'm going to stop here, and I want to jump over and show you, if you're following along on your mobile device because you've been watching on your computer, we're going to actually build those cards on our phone just to show you how easy it is and go through that send process of sharing those cards out. Again, hopefully we'll have a little bit of time to answer any questions because I know comments and things like that have been popping up, but I definitely want to make sure we cover the core stuff today to make sure everybody can get one QR, can get that CTFO card that we just showed, can build that card and can start sharing it out so that they can start building their business or their team can start building their business as of the end of this training. So guys, I'm going to stop sharing my web screen. We're going to go in and start sharing my phone screen here. Okay, and you guys will see this, and lo and behold, I'm already on my web browser, but I've got that CTFO card up. You saw it on the phone on my web browser, but you can see how it interacts on my phone, just as we saw earlier. Okay, I'm going to close that out. You can see my apps all along the top. Again, If you've already signed up for OneQR or Shuffle, you can go to your respective app store, Google Play or Apple App Store, and download that app. If it's OneQR, I actually have the App Store up. You're just going to do a quick search for OneQR. I have a feeling it's going to load. We'll go OneQR. It's the only result that comes up, guys, for all of the App Store. There it is. I've already downloaded it. You can download your version. It'll just take your email and password when you set up your account, and you'll log in to launch that app. So we've logged in and we've launched OneQR. Here it is, create a new card. Again, I'm going to touch on that plus sign sort of like I did on the web. And I've already got those templates that we were looking at earlier. So here's that health template that we were talking about with all of that information that we were looking at. And I've just selected the template. If you're doing your template searches on this, again, you're just hitting that more button right down there on the bottom left-hand side. And that's what's going to bring up that template search, what we did on the web to type in CTFO, CTFO health, CTFO pets. Okay? So once we have the template we want, up in the top, you'll see a little button that just says continue. You just follow these steps. It's asking, and again, if you set up your profile, it will take that profile information. That just saves your thumb's time from entering in or spelling out your name and contact information. So I'll go ahead and hit yes, and you can see it puts in our Dan Smith information. I'm just going to give this card a name. We'll call it General. General CTFO. I can put in any information it's asking for on here, things like web link or things like username. These are all going to be tied to your CTFO, so make sure to enter those in. So I'll just go on ahead and put in things like, I'm just going to put in a sample one here. I know you guys know it's your name, and same thing with web link. You can adjust anything on here, add email or not, put in a photo. Guys, again, if you have your photo from your photo library, great. Let's go on ahead and do actually, we'll do a selfie with my son and I here.
Oh, cute you are.
Sorry, guys, this might take a second because it's downloading from the cloud. I was going to take a live photo.
I'll let everybody know on here as I built my car where it asks for job title. Oh my gosh, ER. I put entrepreneur.
Yeah, I think that's a great opportunity. And guys, I don't know, again, I'm lazy. I don't know if you guys are lazy a little bit, but I just do voice to text. Entrepreneur.
Nice.
And so you can use that type of stuff to be a little bit more efficient in technology, guys. So as you play around with these tools, again, pretty powerful. Look, we filled pretty much everything out. We can always come back and edit this. I'm just hitting the add button. So guys, I told you it would take less than a minute to create your card. We've now created a card in less than a minute. It's giving us the preview for our card, obviously all that stuff, and then there's our contact information right on there. We're going to go on ahead and click finish, and now we have a card ready to start sharing out. Was free. We can send it unlimited times for free, guys, and if you want to add other cards, you can always click that plus sign to add other cards. Obviously, there's that additional $1 per card cost. Now let's talk about sharing our card out. So all you do is you open up your app. Again, now that we have our card built, when I meet somebody or when I want to share my card out, I just pull out my phone, I click OneQR, and I swipe up on my card. Now somebody can use a QR scanner to go on ahead and scan this, or I can click copy that link, and I could share that link any way I would traditionally share a link, through text message, through email, through social media, through broadcast, all of that. I can even click the share button and it will pull up a whole list of phone share features, share to Facebook, share to Hangouts, through messages, through mail. It sort of simplifies some of that process. Now, when you, or if you're on here and you have Shuffle, you'll notice you have more share options because we have that relationship management component. We allow you to share to individuals, share to groups, create campaigns, and even have that scannable link. But if any of you are on this call right now or pausing this, you can take out your phone and scan what I'm sharing you, and it will show you that card that we just built. So literally that simple. I would copy this link or I would hit share, and I would say select text message, and then I could come in and add the contact of whoever I want to text it to. And then I would rinse and repeat, or maybe it's a blanket text out to a group, or maybe it's a post on Facebook to my wall or to somebody else's wall or an in message or a messenger message. So again, the flexibility is there for you to share out through your preferred channel.
And you can do group texts, ER?
You can. Again, on here, I always recommend, this is on one QR, it basically operates like a campaign. I know for those of you who might not be new to, or who might be new to this, you know, campaign might sound confusing, but when I swipe up on here and hit share and go to text, it's going to treat it just like a campaign would, where it will tell me everybody who's opening it up, but it won't tell me specifically who, because it's not set to an individual setting.
Got it.
If you want that individual tracking or more relationship management tools, who viewed what when, what did who click on, those are upgraded features that you'll have to escalate into into Shuffle for. So guys, we've got our card. We've got a way to start sharing it. We've even built in, I mentioned, if you have customers and you want the customers to get your card, there's a QR scanner right here. They can open up and it will ask to check their thing. You're going to see, like, I'm sharing my screen here, so I don't have a QR up to scan. But you could ask your customer to download that and scan your card. And what that's going to do is it will put that card in their QR decks. And those QR decks cards, if you update your card, they get notified and it gives them a little push notification. Great for things like new product offers, new monthly specials, all of those types of things.
Love it. Love it. I know we're about to run out of time here, ER, and we still have to talk about it. And so I'm going to ask everyone, and I'll invite you to put it in the chat window. We still have to talk about ER's kind of the Mercedes of his product line called Shuffle, which is a multi-faceted, multi-featured platform. Let us know in the chat window if you're willing to hang in there with us for 10 to 15 more minutes, where we show you the very top of the line product. And then ER has an unbelievably generous offer that he's going to make to Team Genesis. All right, we're getting some go-aheads, so go for it.
I promise I'm not going to take a lot of time, everybody. A lot of the feature sets with the cards and the mobile marketing are the exact same as I just went through on one QR, but we're going to talk about some of these added features, and I think you're going to see that it's worth investing in your business to get these additional features, because there's a lot that you can do with them as it relates to managing relationships and as it relates to collaborating with your team. And guys, this is the team sport.
Can I just clarify? You can either get something for free. We spent the majority of our time on this new one QR card, free for everybody, free for people in CTFO, and free for anyone anywhere, right? And we talked about just onesing and twosing ourselves for $1 a month with no contract, no commitment, right? Or now we're going to talk about this platform that has so beautifully served some of us first inners. So I'm sorry, I just wanted to clarify the options made available today.
Absolutely. And look, I encourage you guys, there's no obligation to really get this upgraded solution, but I want to tell you what you're going to be missing out on. I do encourage absolutely everybody, if you're in this as a business, get one QR as a business card and start using it to promote yourself as a business professional. First and foremost, that's our #1 goal for you today. And that's why we spent all that time up front showing you exactly what to do to cover everything at no charge to you. Now, what I'm going to jump over, and you saw it as we went through with these links, okay? If you took that to elify.com and you were on that Elify page, I might have to copy Janet's link one more time here just to show everybody. Go back, instead of one QR, we'll go back to Elify here. The other solutions that we're talking about are also listed on here. So we talked about one QR. I'm just going to briefly talk about Shuffle here. Again, if you come in, you can discover Shuffle, and it's going to track along with the exact same stuff. Now, I'm going to hit you with the exciting stuff up front. I don't know if Janet wants me to, but let's go on ahead and talk about what when you go through and get Shuffle, you can get it for, okay? So our retail on Shuffle is $19.99. All the bells and whistles right out of the gate, okay? But for everybody on CTFO through this weekend, okay, we are going to cut that price in half, 50% off for the life of your account, guys. So that's $10 a month, okay? That gives you 10 cards, and it also gives you relationship management tools, things like notes, follow-ups, reminders, and collaboration tools. The ability to communicate back and forth with your team and share information. That's what we're going to look at. You're just going to click Get Shuffle, okay? And as you go through that Getting Shuffle, it will already include the information. This, again, is one of those reasons why we have those invite links. Respect the lines of sponsorship as well. If one of your sponsors already has Shuffle or OneQR, go on ahead and use their referral link. And you can see that.
Can I bring up something? Can I bring up something here? And I don't mean to call you out on this. You might be mad that I'm doing this live.
No, go ahead.
But your partner said that this team could have it through the end of the year.
Well, then I will make sure it's through the end of the year.
Yay! Well, we appreciate that. We want to wrap up this year big time. So we're going to need to get a lot of adoption in our group for people who are getting first exposure to this and do holiday cards. And I've got all kinds of ideas. So thank you so much for being flexible and generous with us, ER.
Of course, of course.
We'll take you up on it.
You'll see the invite code discount already applied, just like we saw it when we had selected OneQR. Again, if you came in through OneQR and you saw that and you went down to the one card at $0, you could always just click that box to select Shuffle. And again, it's going to apply that already in there for the CTFO team, okay? Once you have that Shuffle, you're going to be prepared to create lots more cards. So again, we saw it on the web. I'm going to jump back over to my phone here, guys, to finish up some of these last little details about relationship management and about team collaboration. Give me 1 second. I got a few video overlays.
And ER, we can circle back around and show the community that you've developed for us to privately and securely interface with our team, our customers. You know, we can tag people so we can build categories for centric communication. And that, you know, just 2 weeks ago, ER, we trained on compliance. And we learned that regulators go into your social media and they can fillet that whole thing and see what you've publicly made available and what you've done on your little teams. And so the idea that this is completely private and secured is amazing and so timely for us here at CTFO. So thank you, if you'll touch on that.
Absolutely. Now we've got Shuffle, just like we had the OneQR app. I'm just launching my Shuffle app. This is for one of our other demo accounts. Again, you can see when you have multiple cards on here and not just one, it becomes lots more powerful. And Janet, you have plenty of great ideas about the different cards you can create. You can have every single one of those CTFO cards. Shuffle's going to include 10 cards right for you. So if you were paying that $1 extra per card in OneQR, you would already be paying $10 for 10 cards, and you wouldn't even be getting the relationship management and those team collaboration tools. So I definitely think it's worth the $10 here. You can add additional cards, and again, this brings up that same menu we saw earlier. The other thing I want to call out on here is some of the measurement stuff. You can see activity on here. I know everybody who ever opened a card, who I sent it to, what I sent, when I sent it, and that's so powerful for tracking. I'm going to get notifications when somebody viewed, all of that type of stuff. You'll also see, and you may notice this if you were in the app on OneQR, comparing it to the Shuffle app, we've got a few other navigation elements down here along the bottom, including contacts. So again, this is relationship management. For anybody out there who doesn't know the power of relationship management, or in business, they refer to it as CRM, contact relationship management. Really, in your business, it's going to boil down to 5 main components. So if you're taking notes, who is this person? How do I know them? When have we interacted? What did we interact about? And when are we going to interact again? So if you're continuing to interact with a prospect and build that relationship, you're going to want to know those things. That includes things like, and again, I'm just going to open up one of these, taking notes about that person, when you met, what you talked about, what products they're interested in, what pain points they have. All of that information. You can take a quick note. I'm just going to type a note here. Maybe you want to snap a selfie with that person and add a picture. Maybe following that meeting. Great meeting with John Doe. He's very interested in our CTFO pet line.
Oh, this is amazing. I had no idea you could do this, ER. Then you can do it safely while you're on the road and dictate.
Right. And I could keep adding to one message. I could add multiple messages. But when I go back to have that interaction with that person, I can quickly review everything that we've talked about. And I'll tell you what, more often than not, what we find from entrepreneurs is you're probably doing one of two things. You either have that proverbial notebook with everybody you've met with and the timestamp, and then you're flipping through, did I meet with Janet 5 pages ago, or was that 3 notebooks ago? How do I find all of those meetings? Here they're all collected in one spot. or you're on an Excel spreadsheet and you've got the rows of every name of the person and their contact information, that one column that says, notes that just gets bigger and bigger. Again, we're just cobbling together solutions that don't necessarily fit the need. So we developed a solution specific for that need.
Oh my gosh, Yara, I'm just thinking, if you do an expo and you have people, passerbys coming by your table, and you scan their business card or you get their information, you swipe up, you deposit your digital business card in their phone on the Shuffle platform, not the one QR,
yep.
You can then add into the CRM notes where you could say, Susan just stopped by this table. Not only is she interested in our oils, but she's actually interested in this opportunity. And then you have something where you can say, follow up with Susan in 2 days or something like that. So you could actually dictate it in there or actually schedule it right there, right?
Absolutely. In fact, I can even set tags. So maybe they're a prospect and I can put in that prospect tag, so we'll create a new tag and we'll call this person a prospect. Prospect. So now they're labeled as a prospect. Oops, I have to select that as a pre-existing one, it sounds like. Yep, there they are, prospect.
Wow.
So and now I've got Jamie as a prospect. If I want to go into my contacts and say, what prospects am I working today? I can literally go to my tag section, select prospects, and there are the 5 prospects that I need to interact with. I could click on the
we can say things like prospective customer, prospective associate, your top gunners, and like come up with tags like that. Is that right?
Absolutely. And then as I work that, I could come in and I could remove a tag. Maybe they are no longer a prospect and they've now become, say, a customer of mine or a team member of mine or whatnot. So I could come in, assign to an existing tag. Now Jamie's a customer of mine. And what I love about this, again, we want to take the brain damage out of it. So if I go to the activity, even for this contact, I can see all of those things I've been doing. I added a note. I put them in as a prospect. I've now changed them into a customer. If I add multiple notes, it's tracking all of that. Another big aspect, and this is so powerful with this technology, is follow-up. We see and hear all the time that the fortune is in the follow-up, but we really don't take much light of it. But the reality is people statistically are very bad at follow-up. It's just the nature of the numbers. In fact, 80% of people out there, and this includes 80% of your team, they will fail to follow up with somebody more than 2 times, just based on the numbers. In fact, 50% of people, half of people out there, they won't follow up with the person even a single time, not even once, 0 times, even if they think they can do business with that person. So what we want to do is leverage technology to help you and your team modify your behavior. What if you didn't even need to think about who you had to follow up with? Instead, your phone just buzzes in the pocket and says, Janet, it's time to follow up with Todd. Janet, it's time to call Klaus. Janet, it's time to follow up with ER. And it didn't matter whether that person said, follow up with me tomorrow or follow up with me a year from now. You just said it, as the saying goes, you forget it, and then the phone goes off and you just follow the steps. You can do that.
If I could say here, my husband, when we first started dating ER, and this is going back, I guess 9 or 10 years now, somebody called me and I said, okay, I'll get back to you on Monday and we'll talk about when I can deliver that product and stuff. And we're in Fry's supermarket. And he goes, well, how are you, as I walk away and we start shopping, he goes, well, how are you going to even know to do that commitment that you just made here to this customer and satisfy their requests? I go, well, I'll just remember. And he says to me, with all due respect, if you can remember all you have going on, you don't have enough going on.
That is very, very true.
Professionals don't commit things to memory.
No, look, guys, at any one time in your business, again, you're a business owner. You are juggling balls that represent relationships. And some of those relationships have been being juggled for weeks or months as you drip on that person, as you interact with that person. I've heard it before. No is not no. It's just not right now. And I want to set that follow-up. I've heard stories of somebody 10 years later who's continued to follow up that person who wasn't interested. And it took 10 years and they joined and they became the biggest producer for that person. But it had to be work. And then I've heard people, I followed up one time and it worked. So, you just have to run those numbers. But if you're juggling all of those things, what we find more often than not, people are just focused on the new stuff coming in and the quick stuff that flows through the pipeline. And most people don't realize it's not out there just searching for gold nuggets, that most of the gold is the stuff that gets caught in the mats and you sort of have to go through and wash it and work for it. But if you get it all, You know, that's what mining is all about.
That's a great example, ER. That's a great example. And then if it's inconvenient, would be another reason. We know we need to do it. We know that it's proven. We know it's a strategy that every high producing person does. But if you make it too hard for us to do, we all are overcommitted. We go, oh gosh, I know I need to do that, but I can't create that time and space. So you've made this so completely easy.
Again, it's making it seamless, easy, and replicatable for everybody to follow. Right. So let's set a follow-up reminder for Jamie. I just went into reminders. I'm clicking it. And again, you know, you might want to come back and watch this as a replay to go through this last half if you're using these shuffle features. We also have a lot of training guides, a whole online YouTube channel as well. I could say maybe a day from now or 15 minutes from now, or I could go into an advanced date and say, actually, I don't want to bug them on the weekend. I'll follow up with them first thing Monday at 9:30. And we'll set it. And now we don't even have to think about it. In 1 day and 23 hours, our phone's going to go off and it's going to tell us it's time to follow up with Jamie. If you want to be proactive about your follow-ups, let's say you pick a certain date or a certain time every day to do your follow-ups. I can actually come into my entire contact list here. I can hit the gear and I could say sort by maybe upcoming follow-ups. And look, I've got one on December 3rd here, and then I've got one on in 2019. Okay, you know, we'll mark the one from December 3rd when it comes, and you know, we can proactively be reaching out, or we can just wait until our phone buzzes us and it's time to, you know, call Emily here. So lots of power from that relationship management tool, and we're just sort of scratching the surface of all of what you can do with your contact. But if you're talking about creating a follow-up cycle, much like that quick start cycle, it's at the contact, write a note, set a reminder, then the reminder goes off. Review the note, okay? Update the note, set the reminder, and just rinse and repeat until that contact becomes a customer, a team member, or tells you, you know, I'm really not interested. Call me back in 6 months. Set the reminder, you know?
I want to share with you an application that I'm going to use your card for, ER, because we're talking about, for our special team, your generous offer at $10 a month if we adopt before the end of the month. So everyone get to work and then get your team on this. But I've committed to do an event in February with 2,000 of anyone who's anyone, the most elite people in the country. In fact, people from out of country, I've even shared this with you, will be flying in. So I'm thinking about, it costs me thousands of dollars to have a sponsorship table, and that's money out of my pocket. It'll cost me thousands and thousands to have product on hand because these people will want it now. So I think, where can I trim so I can do this in a reasonable budget? Then I'm thinking, it dawns on me, ER, as I'm putting this event together, I'm going to have all kind of printed material. People are going to expect to walk away with something to be able to reference, especially people I can't engage with because there's so many. And I thought, I'm going to develop the most kickin' digital business card centric to this event, so that when people ask for a brochure, I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to put a piece of paper in everybody's hand that will likely end up in the trash and it's stagnant. Instead, I'm going to custom design a digital business card and give it to every single person. I'm going to have somebody with me to share it with every single passerby, so it's with them. It's with them always, and that it will evolve as our product line evolves.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great idea. And what's powerful about that is you can create an engaging experience with the audience you're interacting with, and even if you don't know them, with Shuffle, so not with one QR because it doesn't include the relationship management stuff, but with Shuffle, you could even add like lead capture forms. So if they scan it and they come in, they can fill out, yes, I'm interested in more information. That will ping you that you have a new lead to follow up with, and also tag that lead as coming in through that lead capture form. In addition, because we have contacts here, if you go to add a contact, not only can you enter this in, this is almost like a longer lead capture form, but you could hand your phone to somebody. Hey, give me your information and I'll text you or I'll email you what we were just talking about. That's the best way to do.
Could we make this even tighter still by having signage on an expo table? So not centric to me, because there's a lot of people with the QR code. So people could just scan that QR code and know everything they wanted when they came by my table.
In fact, here on on Shuffle, I could take a card. I could come in, and as you saw and I swiped up, I didn't just get the QR thing. I actually have multiple options. I could create a campaign. We could say it is the expo. Using this to promote at my table at the event. We'll print out the QR code so people can scan. So that just helps you know. I can get individual notifications of anybody that scans it, or I could set on summaries. Maybe I'm going to be posting that where tens of thousands of people, like we have people from the main stage who posted on the Jumbotron and the audience is sort of scanning their things. They don't want their phone to blow up immediately. They'll actually aggregate all of those things together. You can even set those lead capture forms on there as well. And then when you're on there, you would just take whatever campaign you've created, copy that code, and build your brochure with that code so people can just scan it right there. Lead it to the lead capture, and you're going to start generating leads from that process.
Wow, 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 wow. ER, have we covered all the features before we get to that community? Because that kind of brings us back around to our defensive strategy.
Yeah. So let me cover this last feature when we talk about relationship management. When you're adding your contacts, they're either filling it out, you can import them from your phone contact. Guys, you or your team already has a list. It's called the phone contact list. Instead of sitting down and writing down the names of each and every person, have them click a button and their list is already there and say, who on this list should we be sending your card to first? And start selecting those names from there to bring in.
Christmas cards, ER. Oh my gosh.
Like, because you have the flexibility to create up to 10 cards on Shuffle, imagine creating a Christmas card. You could create a video to embed on your Christmas card of you guys singing Jingle Bells or whatever you want to sing.
That's so cute.
And you could be sending that out to everybody just as a way to engage with them, you know, and be top of mind to them. The last little feature for those of you who do have a giant stack of these business cards sitting in a shoebox, sitting on your desk, is this business card scanning feature. You can click it, you can take a picture. It will allow you to scan a business card. So you'll snap a photo of that business card and the system will go through and it will work to pull the text visually out of that picture and load it into that form we were talking about, the form here with the information off of that card so you can quickly add that. So imagine just going through, and the biggest force of friction is translating this. Everybody has it on their desk because they intend to import the data off of it.
So true.
Use this to quickly do that as opposed to typing it in. So I'm going to stop there on relationship management. Again, I encourage you to play around with that. The last piece I want to talk about, and this brings that full circle, Janet, to what we were talking about as a defensive strategy, and that's chatter and communication. Okay? I've got individuals here that are also users of the solution, and what that's created is a protected environment where we can connect and collaborate together. And I think that's so powerful, okay? And what I love about creating it in a channel like Shuffle as opposed to private message on my text messages or on my email or giving out my phone number is I can still do business without giving out personal information if I have a very large team. So that's something to keep in mind as you're scaling and growing. On here, I've got chat, so I could have one-to-one conversations with anybody on here, or I could formulate groups. Maybe I want my leadership group, my regional group, my local team, whatever you want. You can start forming those groups and have threaded conversations, much like a group thread message where everybody talks with each other as well. So you can have individual one-to-one or groups where everybody talks together. The last piece, which is unique to Shuffle, is what we call broadcast. Now imagine the ability to basically send out a broadcast, almost like a BCC instant message to everybody that you're connected with. And we're getting ready to release this, or segments of the groups that you're connected with. And it goes out from one to all of them. But if anybody replies back, the reply only comes to you, not to everybody else. You know, that is so powerful. So if you're that leader saying, hey guys, just quick reminder, it's Saturday training, you know, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 8 a.m. Pacific, just like we're on today, we could send out some of those live reminders to make sure our team is getting into activity. And I think that's what's so powerful. When we come together, when we start working together, when we start using the same solutions, when we create that viral loop, that's when we start to see massive explosive growth. Janet, you talked about 10xing the business. I truly believe, guys, whether you're using one QR for free or whether you've made the decision to upgrade for $10 on the special pricing to Shuffle, implementing this in your business will put you at a competitive advantage and help you take your business to the next level. So I want to say thank you so much, Janet, for letting me come on and for everybody staying a little bit longer. And Janet, I'll pass it back to you if you have any questions or anything else we want to cover.
No, I am forever indebted to you for your commitment of time. We've pulled you away from your family today. You and your team have been impeccable. So I thank you. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you for being an innovator. Thank you for giving us a competitive edge. Let's close with if our group has any questions or any challenges, who do we reach out to in your support team?
Yeah, so support@elify.com is an email address. Again, support@elify.com. That's a direct email address to our direct support. However, I always recommend to people, in most cases, there's a training guide. There's a click-through to like a tutorial on it. There's a video on it. So we have a YouTube channel, right? youtube.com/Elify. All of the individual solutions are listed there. You just go in, you find out, and you search for what you're looking for. We also have an entire knowledge base that we call where you can go in and look for specific topics. You know, we get questions all the time, like something as simple as how do I add an image to a card? There's knowledge-based information on that you can dig in and look for. Obviously, we do not have a big phone support when we're giving solutions away for free. It costs us very much to have somebody on there to answer questions, that we can't make that available. But if it escalates up to that, we even have some live support that we can help with.
And there'll be some of us leaders who pull away from the pack, and by that I just mean we become better and more proficient at this so that we can make ourselves available and not encumber you. But this is so exciting, and this is going to allow all of us to be able to wrap up our year on a really high note and maybe spend a little bit of this time getting familiar and more comfortable with this tool, because there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, and we need not to be afraid of it. We need to just be curious enough that we start going to these resources. And then what an incredible momentum we'll carry into 2019. We do have the best product, the best paid plan, the best owners, the best vision, and now a tool to tighten this up, all congruent with our something for everybody proposition. So thank you, everybody here today. ER appreciates you and Guy and Emily and what you've done for us. So thank you so much. We're so fortunate to have this strategic partnership in our corner. And good day to all of you great associates who invested almost an hour and a half of your time on this Saturday. We appreciate you too. Goodbye for now.